Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Rival Recap Show. We're talking Gentlemen's Club football all day, all the time. That might be backwards for you guys, so you know what? All the time. I wrote it backwards as well, guys. It's here. It's another week. Week 9 in the books. Gentlemen's Club football, guys. Another fun one. Finally, some pretty good score lines. We had a few guys in the 140s, 130s. Not only real, maybe one, maybe two ugly wins this week, guys. We're getting better. Things are getting back into swing. A lot of us are getting through our bye weeks. I got a big one coming up. I got like 3 guys on bye, so that should be fun. But, guys, I can't wait any longer when I have to actually report on a win for myself. So, guys, we're getting into none other than my matchup. And it's Super Koopas versus the New York Jets, guys. And in New York Jets fashion, they lose. Eric is sitting at 1-8, better than the actual New York Jets, who could have been 1-8 last night, guys. But I fell asleep. I was like, wow, we're winning. If we win, woohoo. If we lose, could have told you that. But hey, 144 out of my guys. Second most points on the week across the league. Eric putting up his usual 97 points. Nothing really too new on his side. I saw he made a trade with Sklar. He sent over DJ Chark, who he benched this week, who had 27 points, and he gets 2 receivers who combined for 27 points. So, I mean, that's cool. I guess I forget who else he traded in that deal, but I feel like they were kind of insignificant. Chark was the main piece. And yeah, I mean, my side, I had Curtis Samuel, 26 points on the bench, guys. Some people tell me he's a one-hit wonder. That's 2 20-plus weeks in a row. DJ Moore's non-existent. Teddy's loving Curtis Samuel. Drew Brees, 23 points on my bench, guys. I'm talking about my bench. You know why? Because I want to make a trade before this deadline, and that's my little depth that I'm working with. A few of you guys might need a quarterback, probably don't. But, yeah, I mean, my receivers, Diggs, McLaurin had great weeks. Russ, I had probably his worst week of the season, and yet he still put up 22. I still don't have running backs, but, hey, 144 points is pretty awesome. I feel a lot more confident in my team than I did a week ago when I put up 91 and stole a win against Ian. But we're 4-5. I'm in now 9th place. There's a few of you guys sitting at 5-5. I really need a win against Weston next week. Weston just made a trade with Lynch. It seems like everyone makes a trade right before they play me, or in Eric's case, as they're playing me. But that doesn't make a difference to his lineup. But yeah, Weston trades away. I think Lynch might have got the better side of that deal, but it's a pretty insignificant trade overall. But what Weston did do is he traded away CeeDee Lamb, who's on bye against me, for Darius Slayton, who's not on bye. So, I mean, I don't know what you guys think between Slayton and Lamb. It's close. I mean, I don't know. They both had great weeks. Both have had bad weeks, but Weston doesn't have to deal with the bye. So, you know, that's just the story of my season, guys. Most points against, and it might continue. But hey, next matchup, guys. Sklar versus Jones, 140 to 104. Ian's texting me on Sunday. I don't know if he was drinking or what, but he goes, Marsh, you're fucking me. Marsh, you're fucking me. I'm like, how on earth am I fucking you? Like, what could I have possibly done to you now? And he goes, McCaffrey, dude, McCaffrey. I'm like, I traded McCaffrey 6 weeks ago, and you know what, Jones? Your team put up 104 points. That wasn't McCaffrey why you lost, okay? Sklar could have started a guy with, like, 3 points, and he would have won. But, yeah, I mean, the talk of this matchup is McCaffrey. I mean, 37 points, guys. Sklar waited, at least 4 weeks after I traded him, and it's purely paying off, 37 points. I mean, we all know he's the best. I couldn't wait. And Sklar could, and depending on this recent injury, I know Sklar sent the thing yesterday, but that still didn't sound definitive at all. Kind of sounds like they really don't know. He's just optimistic, which is better than pessimistic, right? But I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't hate to see him miss a week or two again. It might make me feel a little better about the trade, but I wish him the best. I still follow McCaffrey on Instagram. Great guy. Hopefully I get first pick again next year. Yeah, I mean, Sklar had a nice bench now. DJ Chark slides in. His team's only improving. That was a nice trade for him. Eric's just really will take any trade at this point, it feels like. And we're going to the next matchup, guys. And it is Ortiz versus Joe. 135 to 72, Joe. 72. Were you the low scorer on the week? You were. God, that's ugly. That is bad scoreline. But Ortiz, other side, 135. I mean, things are just clicking. His running backs, who were his 2 best players, only put up 15.9 apiece. Exactly 15.9 apiece. Rodgers with a beast Thursday night win. Keenan Allen and Fuller performing. I mean, Ortiz's team, when it's clicking, it's guaranteed 130 points at least. Like, he's got two of the best running backs and solid receivers. So it's going to be a force come playoff time. Other side, Joe, his team's crumbling. I mean, he traded away Robert Woods for Gronk and Brady, and they combined for 3.56 points this week. And is that a fluke? Probably, because Brady's looked pretty damn good this year, but Saints just have their number. That was a blowout. That was horrible for the Bucs. So, I mean, Godwin only got 7 points. I mean, he was starting $3, and you would think that was pretty good because they would be good, but no, horrible. Actually, horrible. A.J. Brown with a questionable designation. I'm going to click on that because listed as a non-participant in Monday's practice. Uh-oh. Bone bruise in his knee for the last 2 months he's been dealing with. Uh-oh. Is Joe even going to be able to, like, field a roster next week, guys? I don't know. But 72, he's down in 12th, guys. I remember when Joe was up near the top, and I think he's on a 3-game lose. Yeah, he was 4-2. He was definitely near the top. But, yeah, that's how the season goes, guys. It's a roller coaster. I mean, I'm feeling good right now. I feel like I'm riding that, incline right now, but who knows? Next matchup, guys. This was a bit of a poopy matchup, but I thought Weston was going to pull away with another terrible win. He's had some terrible wins over the last few weeks. His points forward is bad. It's like third worst in the league, but yeah, he's sitting at 5-4, 7th place. But he loses here 98-90. I thought he was going to pull it out because I didn't think Jacoby Myers was going to get 21 points. He gets 28.9. Tony saves it with his Patriot player. I feel like he's always riding a Patriots receiver or something on his team. The COVID guys, as I told Tony his team name is, the COVID guys pull out a nice win, as most of the Circle guys have been traded away. But Weston 90 points. I mean, Josh Allen 36. You take away him, your team was fucking horrible this week. I don't really have anything more to say than that. You picked up Chenault, and he left the game clearly. But now you traded CD, so you'll have Slayton sliding in. I mean, yeah. Also, the one thing that Marvin Hall, what's the story? Like, Weston started him this week, and then now he's included in the trade to Lynch. I mean, he was the least significant piece in the trade, but Marvin Hall, dude, I mean, sheesh. Next matchup, guys. I'm going a little slow today, I know. I've just love talking about it. What can I say? I mean, it's Jones go football all day, all the time. John Rass, high score of the week. Again, I believe, 145.06 to 108.86. Kevin Lamb finally gets to start the 3 stud receivers, guys. I mean, we know what this lineup would have produced last year. He would have been blowing people out of the water. He's probably got to be pulling his hair out a little bit with the Chargers running back situation that went down. He started Justin Jackson and Josh Kelly this week. I mean, I get it. I've started 2 Chiefs. It's a lot of injuries and the running back pool is thin. But so he starts both of them. Justin Jackson leaves the game very early, and then Joshua Kelly picks up the load. But then Kalen Ballage, I believe, got like 16 or 17 fantasy points. He was their leading fantasy guy as far as the run game was concerned. I mean, it's a disaster out there in LA, guys. The Chargers don't know what they're doing. They just keep losing. But yeah, Kevin Lamb gets 32 points out of his big 3 receivers, guys. That's not what he wants to see. He's got to hope that'll improve going forward. Drew Brees seemed to be doing great without having to target Michael Thomas a ton, so it's not the best look. But hey, other side, Rast, I mean, he's riding Dalvin Cook, and he's riding Dalvin Cook hard. 39 points, guys. 48 last week, 39 this week. That is just unbelievable. He can start Jermichael Hasty at RB2. It doesn't matter. 3.3 points. I mean, I saw he dropped J.K. Dobbins. He finally just decided to cut ties there. I mean, there had to be someone else on this roster that he could have dropped, but whatever. I mean, it's not like he's been that great. So, great performances out of his receivers. Judy, 25 points. I mean, Rast just has a solid team. He really does, guys. We shitted him a lot. He made some moves, a little bit of waiver action, things going differently. 145 points this week. I think he had something like that last week, and good for him, guys. He's 5-4. He's in 5th place. He's looking like one of the stronger teams in the middle of that pack. Who would have thought? Next matchup, guys. Sedano versus Lynch. Ben Roethlisberger among 4 Steelers placed on reserve COVID-19 list. Whoa, Ben Roethlisberger. Christian, do you need a quarterback now? Drew Brees, Christian, I don't want a lot. I just want him off my roster so I can start making moves. Wow, okay. Interesting, guys. In the middle of the show, I'm talking about Christian's matchup next, but we got Sedano versus Lynch right here, guys. 140-96. I think everyone knew how this one was going to go. It was a blowout. Sedano loses David Johnson early in that game. Doesn't even matter. Kyler Murray, beast. He's got to be QB1 right now, guys. Remember, I said he was going to be the MVP at the draft, and everyone laughed at me because they were like, well, then why didn't you pick him? Fair. But I went with the safer option, Russell Wilson, who's also been a complete beast and might actually be the MVP just because of his team's performance. But yeah, I mean, Sedano gets 37.9 out of Kyler Murray, 33.3 out of Devontae Adams, 23 out of Christian Kirk, winds up with 140 points. He's definitely one of the strongest teams in this league. No, not many people like to admit it, but if Devontae Adams keeps playing like that, I mean, he knows he's got one of the top quarterbacks. He's going to be getting 30-plus points a week out of Kyler Murray most of the time. It's crazy, but, like, it's been happening. Lynch, other side, 96 points. I mean, I'm looking at Darius Slayton and Mark Andrews, and they combined for 7 points this week. So he gets those two guys off his roster. He gets fresh faces. You know what? At this point, you gotta just try whatever, right? You can't just die on the shitheads like I normally do every year. But yeah, Lynch with taking another L, falling into 13th. Fortunately, you won't go to 14th until the toilet bowl inevitably is you and Eric. But we're going to the final matchup of the week, guys. And we got Christian versus Charlie. This was another good one. This came down to the Patriots game last night. People thought Charlie picked up Patriots defense thinking they could get, 14.9 points, I believe he said in the group chat last night. 101-89. Christian pulls a win. Ben Roethlisberger now on the COVID list puts up 25 nice points for him. Christian, Drew Brees, dude, come on. We'll talk. I know you watch these. 101-89. Not much going other than Tyreek Hill for Christian, honestly. Corey Davis was a fucking dud. I don't know what happened to him in that game. But he got started across multiple leagues that I was in and just nothing going. And yeah, I mean, Christian, you got Robert Woods now you can slide in. So you have Tyreek, DJ Moore, Robert Woods, 3 great receivers. I think you needed to make that trade. That was a nice trade. And I mean, there's not much to say. You guys are both in the thick of it. Charlie drops down to 11th place, guys. There's 4-5 and 5-4. We are a fuckery of a pack, and it is going to get real interesting over these final 4 weeks of the season. I mean, I think at least 1 6-7 team is going to get in, guys. So keep scoring a lot of points. Keep that points forward high because there's going to be some fucking tiebreakers. I feel good in my position with my points. Some other people maybe not so much. So without further ado, guys, I've talked a lot. Send it over to Joe. Thank you. Have a great week of work, and I will see you next week. Thanks.
I love Amy Winehouse. She really fucking gets me. Gentlemen, welcome back to Safe Space. Let's get started this week's episode. You know, I said I wasn't going to try and make Safe Space about me this year. Right? But we've reached a point where I can't bite my tongue any longer. And this week's Open is going to be a state of the union about the That Boy Nice franchise. So where we stand? It's been a rough 3 weeks. Lost 3 in a row. I don't think I've broken 100 in any of those. You know, I go from the top of the standings, where I'm quite frankly used to being. Who knows where I'm going to shake out Tuesday morning. I might be in 11th, 12th, 13th. Not 14th, Eric. You know, I think I've had the worst luck and by far the most injuries in the league. I don't even think there's a comparison. Can't think of another team that's even close to the amount of injuries I've had. You know, last week I'm in the trade market as usual. And I got these nobodies. In our league that have never accomplished anything. I got, Tony Marullo. I got John Rast, Brian Marsh. They're telling me that they're not interested in anybody in my team. Fellas, do you have mirrors at home? Today, unprompted, I get 3, 4, 5 texts from league members, telling me they're worried about my team, that I should be scared. Can somebody ask me, Joe, are you nervous?
Joe, are you nervous?
Fuck no, I'm not nervous. Of course I'm not nervous. Let me explain it to you. Let me set the table. Let you see my vision. Next 4 weeks schedule-wise, I got John Rast, layup. Charlie week after. Charlie's traded his team into mediocrity. Matt Lynch, worst team in the league, week 13. And I close the season, as always, Tony Marullo. Think I'm gonna fucking lose to Tony with the season on the line, make the playoffs? Fuck no. Team-wise, finally get Joe Money Mixon coming back next week, solve the running back problem. I know Marsh fucking said something about Patrick Laird in his recap show a couple minutes ago. Don't want to address it. Couple weeks after that, 1 week after that, couple weeks from now, Raheem Mostert, guy popped off 20 points a game, will be making his That Boy Nice debut. And then we'll circle back to the trade that I made this past week. What I brought in the greatest quarterback and I brought in the greatest tight end to ever step on the football field into my locker room. It didn't work out this week. It was a flop. I'm laying 3 Buccaneers every week. Roll big on them. Now, Joe, can we get big data here to tell us who the Buccaneers play weeks 14, 15, and 16 this year? I'll look it up. Minnesota, Atlanta, Detroit. Fucking love those matchups. Those teams stink. I'm going to be on the TVs while diet until I make the championship. No strawberries. And all my close friends know how much I love strawberry banana milkshakes. No strawberries until I make the championship. I'm going to say it here first, guys. You better hope I don't sneak into the playoffs. I love my matchups. I finally be healthy. Nobody wants to see Joey in the playoffs. We're going to put that on a shirt. Nobody wants to face Joey in the playoffs. I warned you guys. We'll see how it shakes out. Let's get to the actual content of this week's Safe Space. I'm sure you guys all fucking hated that. Best team, worst team. Best team. Spencer Sklar, repeat winner. He won earlier in the season. Voted for himself too this week. A little cocky. Spencer, get your team up right now. You have a great top 3. Big 3. McCaffrey, finally healthy. Charlie sent something about him possibly being hurt. We'll see. Aaron Jones is just, solid. Very solid. And I think Metcalf is the best receiver in the league. It is, fucking incredible that him and A.J. Brown, the 2 specimens that they are, were on the same college team at Ole Miss. I think any of us could have passed for 4,000 yards with them as our wide receivers. Tannehill's good. Claypool is, when he's on, he's awesome. Johnny's solid, and Chase Edmonds might be a starting running back on the Cardinals for the rest of the season. So, yeah, it looks like you have a good team. Worst team's Lynch, again. Lynch, I'll say something nice about you, I guess. You have great eyes. Great hair, too. Moving forward. Alright, kind of similar subject to best team, worst team. I asked you guys for contenders and pretenders. It was a subject suggestion for friends of the program, Spencer Sklar. So I'll read top 3 contenders and top 3 pretenders as voted upon by a league. So Spencer was obviously one of the top 3 contenders. I'm not going to touch on his team again. The other two, Mr. Big Daddy himself, John Sedano. Let's pull up your team, Johnny. What is your team name? Victims of the night. Johnny's got Kyler, who might win MVP. David Johnson's hurt. Damian Harris, Devontae is fucking awesome. I told Johnny at draft day. I called him after. I was talking to him and Spencer when they were driving back. Devontae was a great first-round pick. He fell all the way to 14, which many of us probably regret. Justin Jefferson, did you draft him or did you pick him up? Either way, it's either draft pick of the year or pickup of the year. Gotta be in contention for both. Eckler will finally be back with Herbert too, which will be awesome. Yeah, I mean, solid guys. Not an amazing team, but very solid. And then James Ortiz, who just beat me, Miles High Club. I mean, James, you got the best player in fantasy this year. Kamara's fucking awesome. Sanders is great. Kupp solid. James Robinson, pickup of the year again. Will Fuller, he like has 0 points every week through fucking 3 quarters, and then I checked my phone and he's at 21. Hurst is a solid tight end, another very solid team, and you got Rodgers, who has been a great draft pick. That was probably the best quarterback pick in the league. Yeah, that was probably at the value you got him, the best pick this year. So yeah, top 3. And now we'll go pretenders. So I don't think pretenders is as much of an insult, because in order to be a pretender, you at least have to be in contention. Top 3, Charlie Carita. Charlie, I mentioned your team at the top of the show. I didn't love the trades that you made, but you finally have Nick Chubb back. So him and Mahomes could win you a couple games by themselves. The other top pretender was me. Well, I'm not talking about my team again, don't worry. And then the third was Mike Weston. What has happened to Weston? I feel like he was, very lively, offering a lot of trades at the beginning of the season, and now his team's gone to shitter. What's his team name? Taylor made to win, Taylor made to lose. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor is just average now. Josh Allen's still great. James Conner, meh. Mike Evans, meh. Golly's hurt. Lamb's meh now. You're just meh. M-E-H. That's how I describe your team, Weston. I'm getting fucking tired. There was amazing answers for the what you're gonna do with the money. It was a lazy question by me, to be honest. Nothing you guys gave forward answers, so I will pass on sharing that. And in terms of safe space submissions, the one that I liked the most was Spencer said that James Ortiz is not going to make a deal at the deadline, and it's going to cost him the championship. Tomorrow's the trade deadline. You guys are going to be watching us during the day of the trade deadline, so make a fucking move. Have a great week, fellas.